Hi, it's Karen here, and I'm so excited to be able to share with you these baubles that I created a few years ago. And I've taught them at many of my workshops, and they've been a huge hit, so I thought I'd share them with you, all using Lavinia stamps. So these ones I've created with the beautiful, who is she? She is Rue, and Spanish moss coming down from the top. Has nice fluffy snow in it. I've tied each of them with a double ribbon. And then I've double-sided them. So this one is Raven with wild vines at the top. And I've put some glitter on her wings and this lovely fluffy snow. So that's one of them. This one I've just put different snow in her. She's got little baubles. This is from the Fairy Forager set. And then I've used one of the mini stars sets at the top. Again with a double ribbon. And these stickers around the edge to keep it all together. But the one that I'm going to be showing you in depth today is this one. It's a flat locket style bauble. You can use a bauble of any type. Some of the round baubles work just as well, but I really love this flat locket style. So when you get your baubles, they come in two parts, and one of the parts has a little ridge in the top here. That is where your card goes, and then they clip together. That's how it works. Now, something to remember, do not put your fingers in the inside of the baubles because the snow will stick to it. So when I'm working, I keep my fingers well. You can touch the outsides, that's no problem, but the insides are a no-go zone. So here we go, we're going to start with this one. I'm fortunate enough to have a die that fits the size of my baubles. So I've cut my circles out like that. But if you didn't, you take your bauble, draw around the edge, and then when you cut it, you just cut inside the pencil marks so that it fits inside this little ridge that you've got here. Okay, I hope that is clear. Just going back to our circle, you want the circle so that it fits nicely onto that groove. So I've used distress inks. I'm going to use, those of you who know me, favourite colours, blues, blues, blues. So I'm starting with tumbled glass here. I'm using oxides, but distress inks would work just as well. The card I'm using is Multifarious card that you can buy from Lavinia. Love, love, love it. And I'm using the blending tool like this. Whenever I'm blending, to get a nice, smooth, even blend, you always start off the card and keep it moving in a circular motion. You can see I'm protecting my work with a piece of copy paper here. And the whole time I'm just keeping it moving, keeping it moving. Inking up my blending brush, blending sponge. Patience will give you a beautifully smooth result here. I'll stop talking for a second and I'll concentrate and move it a bit faster. Someone said to me once when I was doing this, yeah, but do you do the centre? Yes, we get to the centre, but just want the outside to be nice and smooth. Now, because I'm going to use a single piece of card in my bauble, I don't want to get any mess on the other side, so I'm just going to move it slightly as I turn it around to the other side. Again, every time I start, I'm going to start off the card. Keeping it moving in a circular motion. Make sure that you don't get any of those scrape marks. Look at that beautiful colour, it's coming on beautifully. So once we've gone all around the edge, we're just going to move a little bit more towards the centre. And you're just going to bring the brush more and more towards the centre each time, keeping it moving in a circular motion. And hey presto, you have a nice smooth base. Put a bit of fluff on there. Okay, there's a bit of white in the middle. Let me just, there we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take my blueprint sketch. Actually, I'm just going to clean my work surface here so that I don't get any of that lighter ink on the back side. And I take a different blending sponge, and again I'm starting off the card and ever so lightly going around the edge. I'm literally just touching the paper, but I'm keeping it moving, and there you go, you get that lovely smooth blend through it. So there we go, we get this lovely smooth blend. Beautiful. So I've done the other side as well. But like I say, if by any chance you messed up one of your sides, you can just put two of the pieces together and they will fit inside your bauble. But for this purpose, I'm just using a double-sided card. So that's the Distress Oxides away. And now we're going to stamp. This side I'm using Zen Butterfly and the mini cluster of stamps. And this side I've used the Stargazing stamp with mistletoe. So, stamping up using Nocturne Versafine Clair, which is a beautifully juicy pad and shows up the fine detail of the Lavinia Stamps fabulously. Just tapping, and I like to tap with my stamp block flat, then I know where I am and I know where I've been. Beautiful. Just a bit in the middle there. Straight down. Let the ink soak into the paper for a second and picking it up. Beautiful, beautiful image. Just love that stamp. And then I'm going to take my mini group of stars, and I always use a block that's appropriate for the size of the stamp. You don't want a small stamp on a massive block because you'll be rocking all over the place. I'm just going to clean my table here, because we don't want it messing the back side of what we've stamped. So when you're going around the edge, you don't always want these stamps. I'm in the same direction. Look, I'm orienting the stamp, turning it round so that it gets a different look. Voila! So that's literally how I did that one. So having done the one side, we're now going to flip it over and do the back side. So as I said, these are Stargazing, and I'm going to put mistletoe on here. I'm starting in the middle because then I know that it's all going to line up. And I'm inking it up with Nocturne in between. Getting beautiful crisp images here. There we go. Do I need one more? Yes, I think I want one more, just on the edge here. Beautiful. So that's how we got the back side there. Let me just clean this up for a moment so that we don't get this anywhere near our beautiful images. And as I say, ordinarily This would just be on the flip side, so I would just use one piece of card. Then what I've done is that I've taken my favourite Stickles Icicle and my favourite Liquid Pearls White Opal, and I just put little white dots in the middle of the mistletoe and stickles on their wings. Stickles on the wings. Now these take a few minutes to dry, so I have, in true blue Peter fashion, I have prepared one earlier. So here it is, all dry now. And obviously you want it to be dry, because when we put it in the bauble and you put the snow on it, you don't want the snow to stick to it all. So we're just going to pop this into the bauble like that. Make sure it fits. Make sure you're happy with that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. So to put our snow in, like I showed you in the beginning, there's lots of different types of snow. The one I'm going to be using here is this lovely snow with all this holographic tinsel through it. So it sort of does look really like snow and glistens. So again, keeping my fingers well away from the inside of that bauble, I'm going to put with my little spoon a couple of teaspoons of that glitter, that snow in. Put my inside in. Put another few teaspoons on the top. The amount of snow that you put inside will depend on the image and the size of the bauble that you have. So if you listen carefully, you heard it snap and click. And there we have your little gorgeous bauble. Now you can, if you wish, put some glue in the inside. I tend not to. What I have done is I've used these stickers, you know, these peel and stick stickers that you can get. Oh, that's not peeling and sticking very nicely. And you're going to get it all over your fingers. And then I'm just going to start it on here and wrap it neatly all the way around the edge. And so on. And on these I did 2. Just gives it a bit of extra something. So that's what I'm going to do. We can stop. Okay, so having you got your stickers round the edge, the last thing we have to do is tie a ribbon. So I'm just going to use a pokey tool here, because sometimes it's difficult to get it through there. So I've just used some sheer ribbon here. It's about 20 centimetres. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot here at the top. I'm just going to cut these now. Scissors. I always have a separate pair of scissors for my ribbons to my paper. I never mix them, otherwise I'll blunt them. And now I'm going to hold this very neatly straight above and then tie a separate ribbon at the bottom here, with your bauble wiggling around the bottom of you here. But this is how you can do it with one hand. I'm holding it here and pulling the ribbon at the top. And then you've got it tightly tied with a pretty little bow at the bottom here. Do you know what? I don't like that ribbon. So I'm taking that ribbon off, and I'll see you in a minute while I find a nice ribbon. Hi, so I'm back now. I found a nice piece of ribbon, and I also found these lovely little beads. I think they're going to look fun on this. So just coming back to, here we go with it spinning around. I'm just going to tie this ribbon with a single little tie here, holding this bit up so that you can tie it nice and gently. And then I tied that on the top of it with those floating down the middle. So I think that looks quite... I'm actually going to leave it like that, so that when it's on the tree, these little things dangle all the way down. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. And as you can see, these gorgeous Lavinia stamps lend themselves so beautifully to these baubles. I would love to see what you create, so please show me. Bye.